Hi everyone, I am doing another trash to treasure video here. I'm making these succulents in these containers that I'm making out of cork. And so the challenge here is to use items that you would normally be throwing in the trash bin or the recycle bin and turn them into useful decor and something interesting. So I always collect corks. I just always save them. This is just a quick reminder. If you are new to visiting my channel, think about subscribing if you like this idea and want to see more. So I picked out some corks that had interesting lettering on them and graphics, and I am soaking them in water because they're easier to cut if they have moisture in them. And some of them obviously are from red wine, so I'm just gonna cut off the edges if they're stained, like this one is. And they're just really easy to cut. You just kind of roll them. I'm just using a serrated knife, and I'm just gonna cut them in a few different sizes because as I put them on the side of my tins, which you'll see in a minute, they're all different shapes and sizes. So I kind of like that as part of my design. So here they are, ready to go. And so here are my tins. These tins, I have trashed some of these in the past, but I kind of consider them items that I don't know what to do with. They're nice, but don't they just always accumulate? And then you just don't know what to do with them. So I've picked two different ones here that I think will make nice containers. They're gonna be nice sizes. The round, smaller one, and then that oval one there. So I am spraying them with just some flat black Krylon spray paint there. And now I'm gonna fill them with dry floral foam. And I think it'll be easier just to fill them now, and then I don't have to worry about handling them later when I put the corks on the side. So I always cut the foam just so that it has a really nice tight fit and it doesn't move around in there. And you can just use a couple different sizes so that it just fills up the space there. And then I also glue it in with hot glue. So this is a quick reminder. Check out in my description below the link to the playlist for this challenge. The playlist will house all of the other videos of every other creative that's doing a video as part of this challenge. Oh, and if you don't know how to get to the description, because I watched YouTube for a number of years before I even realized this, just click on the title of my video right below. It will be on the left, and that will open up, and you will see there's the description of my video here, and then also the links to the playlist, links to Casey's channel, and also Lisa, who are the co-hosts. And so I'm using a combination of, and this is Casey's channel. Casey has Coffee with My Sunshine, super cute stuff. And also lisa&company, another DIY creative. So I am using hot glue, and then also just Elmer's glue as a base. The hot glue is holding the corks on immediately, so I can just see what they look like. But the hot glue will actually pop off. The items would pop off later. Oh, and I will put an iCard above here to the right because I've done some other videos with succulents, and I love succulents. I think they look really cool in designs and home decor. So I've had some artificial ones and some live ones. The live ones always look great. I love them, but they're hard to keep alive. They don't look great. They don't look great for very long. So that's why I'm using some artificial succulents today. I think these will make, a nice look. And so this is just kind of a little bit of a puzzle, and I just wanted to show here, I kind of cut a wedge into this last one to make sure that it would fit. They almost all, it almost fit perfectly on the smaller one. On this bigger one, I had a little bit more of a challenge squeezing in the last one. It worked. And so now everything I do is always easy and quick. But I gotta say, this was not a quick, this was not a quick project. I was up late doing this. So now I am just covering it with just a ton of thick layer of Mod Podge, because that hot glue will ultimately detach. So I just wanted to fill it with Mod Podge, and so I gave it a really thick coat here. And so I didn't know what to do with them overnight. I stuck them on top of this hand truck in my garage and let them dry. So here they are in the next morning, and they are still not dry. So this is a good note. I should have left these for like 2 days. I've never made a project where I used that much Mod Podge. So they are still actually not dry. So I'm starting with 2 different colors of moss here. One is a slightly darker green and one is a little bit lighter green. I think this is just reindeer moss from Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna apply it with hot glue, and I'm covering the whole entire thing, the whole entire circle there of dry foam. And I'm also just gonna cover the edge there. I'm gonna pull it out so that I'm making sure that it covers the edge of the tin. And I'm just getting rid of all those little spider web pieces that always happen. And so I am just making sure I fill it in, and I really like the combination of using the 2 different tones of the moss. I think it looks a little more organic, a little more interesting, and so I'm just filling in there and covering the whole entire piece with hot glue and trying not to burn myself. And so yeah, that's what they look like. And I really love the way the corks, the text and the script shows on the corks. I think that they make really interesting design elements, and I tried to make sure that if the corks had text on the edge, the flat top piece there, I tried to make sure that I glued that so that they would show as well. Some of them have the year, and some of them have things like the company name or a logo. And so I love type. I love text. I like seeing those graphics. So I tried to glue them so that those would always appear. So now I am going to fill them with faux succulents. These are all artificial succulents, and I've gotten these from a collection of different places. And so yeah, I'm just making sure that all of that moss is tucked in and it's dry. So this is my combination of succulents. Some have come from Dollar Tree and some have come from Joann's, and they are really, really easy. I'm just popping them in there. I'm making sure that I put them on the edge of the piece, just like when I plant real, live succulents. I make sure that they come all the way to the edge so that they break that line of the container and, kind of overflow a little bit. And I think they look really cute. I think this is just a really stylish piece. And so these are some succulents that came from the Dollar Tree. They come in those little pots there, and you can just pull them out, and they have a little wire base on them, which is perfect. And then that little light green one, those came from Joann's. I think they were like 50% off. They were only $1, so I think they were like 50 cents each. And I always put like items like right next to each other, just because I think it looks a little more organic. If they were growing, they might kind of have grown, kind of expanded like a little baby, like hens and chicks do. I think these are supposed to be a mixture of aloe, maybe a jade there in the back, maybe an echeveria. I'm not sure. I think that they they're pretty, and they will stay looking like that forever, unlike real ones. So I'm going to be styling this on my on a piece that I have in my sunroom. Oh, and I'll also put an iCard above here. I styled this during the fall for Halloween. I gave this this piece, I treated it like a bar cart, and so I really like this little piece of furniture. This was a thrifted piece. I have it in the corner of my sunroom, and I think it's just nice to set it up like a wine bar or just a bar. And so these just fill in really nicely. This is the part that was actually, this was the fastest part. And so yeah, I like them. They are just come together really quickly. And I'm gonna put some wine bottles next to it. I think I will put maybe a corkscrew, some other tools, maybe a tea towel that you would use, you know, on a bar or something like that. And as I said, the what is that? The Mod Podge has still not dried, so I would say it might take like 48 hours total to dry. Oh, and so now the last piece here, the last artificial element is this, I don't even know what kind of plant that's simulating, but I think it's really important because it's gonna actually kind of drape over this side, and I think it's nice to have something that just spills over the edge and gives the piece even more organic looking feel. So yeah, that is it. So that is just the last piece there. I think it just really filled in nicely. I think it looks really cute. And so thanks again to Casey and to Lisa for hosting this. Be sure to check out the playlist. And if you like this project and you want to see more things like this, think about subscribing. That would be awesome. And so thank you so much for joining, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.